So episode 3 of Ahsoka just aired on Disney Plus, and because of the new scheduling, it's going to air every week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Before we continue on talking about this particular episode, I do want to say that in the future reviews that I'll do for episodes, they may not come on time because I have some stuff that's coming up and I might not be able to see the episode until a little bit later, which means you might get the video for it at around 11:15, 11 o'clock or something like that. Sorry about that, but anyway, I did want to talk to you guys about this particular episode because I like the first 2 episodes quite a bit. I like the way things started off over there, and so I was curious to see how things would develop. And right out the gate, I want to address that in the last video, I was talking about how, there's been a bit of a disconnect between Ahsoka and Sabine because, the two were master and apprentice. Now, this was not really there in Rebels. Like, we didn't see that before. So this obviously happened in a time when, things had already progressed badly in that, time and things that happened over there. And now, in the years since then, somewhere in the middle that happened. Okay. Now, I'm sure the show is still getting to some of that, but right now we're also focusing a lot on her retaining some of those abilities. I'm assuming it's going to lead to a flashback at some point of time. And whenever that happens, I'm curious to see how that goes. But the initial part of this episode, you do focus on the fact that Sabine is out of touch with the Force, her abilities with the lightsaber. She's still trying to improve, but she's not quite tapped into that side just yet. And so there is definitely a bit of a friction, like the best way to put it, between her and Ahsoka, and Huyang being the honest robot that he is just like, yeah, no, you're not good. This is messed up. You suck. And that's kind of where we initially start off with. And eventually, as the episode progresses, a common theme that's been with the following, Disney Plus shows, especially because they're taking place between 6 and 7, things happen between those that lead to that trilogy. And so we know for a fact that eventually things are going to destabilize again, which is going to lead to the First Order and stuff like that. We're not quite there yet, but eventually when we get there, it's going to be a cascading domino effect. And we're seeing that because Thrawn's return seems inevitable. We know that he's going to come back at some point, but it turns out the galaxy, at least the New Republic, doesn't seem to take that threat very seriously. And as a result of not taking that threat seriously, certain things are being neglected. So Hera Syndulla asks for more troops. They say no. And despite the fact that they haven't really known that battle, it's still a hubris of, hey, we got rid of the big bad guys. We're good. We don't need to do this anymore. And we're wasting resources that could be used to rebuild. And so it's resulting in this other friction that's going on over there because it's like, this is a major threat. We need the help that we can get. And so because that's not happening, Ahsoka and Sabine are probably going to have to take matters into their own hands. And that's what's going to lead to them confronting the cult of Thrawn, or at least the remnants of the Empire that are there at the moment that are, slowly beginning to rebuild. It leads to a chase sequence that takes place in space because they eventually, with that tracking device from the earlier episode, are able to find the other, evil guys like Morgan Elsbeth and all at the Eye of Sion, which is still being constructed. And there's a space battle that takes place over there where Sabine kind of taps into her flying skills again, so she's definitely getting those back. And it leads to a pretty fun chase. I thought it was really well done, and eventually it leads into a planet where, you run into the space whales again. It leads to a moment because the last time Sabine saw Ezra there was space whales. And so there's definitely that kind of an emotional connect to it. But I do like the fact that, we're sort of taking time to spend with these characters and sort of build into, the bigger conflict. I'm okay with the slow, methodical storytelling at times because one of the things that I like about a show like this is that you need that kind of time sometimes. And since we're still building to something, and I haven't lost sight of that because we're still in the action, we're still in the middle of everything going down, I like the fact that we're able to, take this opportunity to have the action sequences also be character building moments. Huyang is down in the fight, and then eventually, Sabine has to help because Ahsoka's out in space and she's trying to fight them, in person which is kind of crazy. But that entire sequence was really, really fun. But beyond that, there's not much else that happens in this episode. It's a quick episode compared to the last two. This one's about 32 minutes without credits, so about 36, 37 minutes with credits. And so it's a quick one, but it's an effective one. It's a fun one. And now that we're heading into the halfway point of the season, which is going to be next episode, I am excited to see how things escalate and how eventually it starts to lead into the stuff that has been teased so far, and as well as give a few answers to some things. But so far I can say that I'm honestly quite enjoying Ahsoka. I love the first 3 episodes quite a bit. I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes. And why don't you guys let me know what you guys thought of episode 3? Do you guys enjoy what you just saw? Are you looking forward to seeing the next episode? How are you enjoying the season till now? Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the movies. It's May the Force be with you. I forgot. Yeah.